I'm going a little bit different here just because I didn't really love too much on the NBA board here, but I'm going to look at Memphis's team total. And I am going to take the team total over Memphis, which is at 98.5. Now, Memphis, for the last two games, has been held under 100 points. They're the least efficient offense in the league, and they're banged up. But I think we're getting a depressed total that we can take advantage of here. They were held under 100 points in three consecutive games just once this year. It was in late November before John Morant came back from his injuries. And at that point in time, the Grizzlies were more struggling to figure out who they were and what they were. Now, at least, this lineup that is in there now has had enough time to play with each other. They understand the rotation. They know each other a little bit better. There's some semblance of understanding what the offense is supposed to look like. Since December 1st, the Grizzlies have been held to under 100 points on the road just 3 times compared to 7 times at home. This season, they've been held to 100 more at home than they have on the road. T-Wolves didn't have Karl Anthony Towns last night. They probably won't have him again. And even playing a bottom 3 offense like the Spurs last night, San Antonio still got over 100 on Minnesota. I think they do the same here. I think this total is way too low here. And even if Minnesota doesn't, push the pace at all, which they likely won't, I still think it's a lot to ask to keep the Grizzlies under 100 in this spot.
So I had a pretty big bet on Memphis the other night against Brooklyn. And you can talk about ugly offensive showings. That game was over. It was 9-2 off the opening tip, and the game felt over. Memphis is off. I mean, literally, yes. I was like, it was as weak an offensive showing for any team in the association I've seen all year. There's no point guard play. All their point guards are hurt right now. The low post play isn't there. And the offensive game plan for Memphis, playing with a bunch of G Leaguers, is limited right now. They're going up against, we can call Memphis or Minnesota, the best defensive team in the league? One of the best defensive teams in the league. So we have an inept offense going up against an elite defense. You're going to have to sell me on this twice because I didn't get sold the first time.
Again, you had an inept offense last night against an elite defense in San Antonio, and they got to 105. You had an inept offense in Portland against an elite defense in Minnesota. They got to 109. The Bulls got to 129. Orlando got to 108. It's really hard to hold NBA teams under 100. And let's just look at the total for this game. It's crazy how low this number is. It's 210, 209.5. And even for Minnesota, they haven't seen a total this low in a long time. I just think there's an overreaction to Memphis going back-to-back games under 100 here, and 3 out of 5 for that matter. But again, all 3 of those were at home, not on the road. So they've actually been better on the road than the Memphis Grizzlies have, and I think we just get an overreaction in the line to this thing being too low. I made the number close to 101, 102, and I think they break that too as well.